Oh, hello, everyone. Hello. I am here. And as you see, my name is Sharyn Steele, and I am assuming that I can just start the platform. I was invited today as a special guest to basically give some tips and pointers on how to build your brand or business. And we are live. So give me one moment. Thank you guys so much. This is my first time. Okay, I'm here. All right. So okay, I'm gonna take that off because it'll be echoing. Okay, this is my first time. So let me back that up because I feel like I'm right at the computer. So as I said, I was invited today to be a guest in this amazing platform. Um, and I'm here to give a little bit about myself, to give some tips and pointers on how to build your brand and your business to succeed in whatever platform you're currently establishing, already in, if you just want to take it to another level. So let me tell you a little bit about me so we can get a little comfortable, relax. As I said, this is my first time not doing a live, but doing it on this type of platform. And I kind of like it. So as you guys know, my name is Sharyn Steele, and I am a native of Detroit. And I'm a native of Detroit, Michigan. I am a single mom. I have a 29-year-old and I have a 14-year-old, and recently just became a grandmother. So um, I have recently, I would say in 2017, I had a situation where a little bit about me personally had an article that came in on blacknews.com and also an article in Business Home. So those articles tell a little bit more about me, and thank you so much. So those articles tell a little bit about me. So I'm just going to give you a little tidbit. So if you hadn't read the article, I am a survivor of suicide. I come from child molestation as a child. I also suffered with clinical depression, and I also am labeled as a convicted felon. I have 3 felonies based on a charge of a case that acquired in 2017. So with that being said, that's how I began. I've always been an entrepreneur, maybe not on the right side, but now I am doing it the right way. So with that all coming together, that made me pursue entrepreneurship and actually gave me not an option, I would think, in the natural. I am a person that bases my life off the kingdom principles. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I make no apologies. I'm not here to do any conversions or lead you to church service. I'm just letting you know my faith and my confessions got me here today. So I can only speak on my experience, and can't nobody take that away from me because it's my experience. So with that being said, that whole nutshell that I gave you, and I kind of probably talk a little fast, so I have to slow it down. Everything that I endured or allowed myself to encounter brought me to a place of I had to find out what I was created and purposed to do in this journey of life that we call. So with that, I ended up I met a lot of people along the way because at that time I was a person that lived a very lavish lifestyle, very modest but very comfortable. So I met a lot of people of substance and people that were already entrepreneurs. And in that, I had a transportation company that I ran freight across the United States. So always entrepreneurship has been in me for whatever that reason. I'm finding that I come from that in my background and my family. So it's amazing how your bloodline can still be attached to you. You don't really may have not met your great grandparents, and then you discover and you say, that's why I'm like that. So with that being said, in 2017, when I was extradited back to Detroit, Michigan, I was living in Austin, Texas, and I was brought back by the U.S. Marshals. And that was kind of my sentence of that I had to stay here in Michigan until I complete what they required me to complete. Well, I'm here. So didn't have to do prison time, no justification in that. I had to be on a tether. So I was introduced to a company called, and I'm giving you a little bit about me, and I'm going to get into building the brand. I was introduced to a company called Total Life Changes. And in Total Life Change, it is a network marketing company. I was introduced to that company by my dear friend, Greg Leaks and Nene Leaks of Real Housewives of Atlanta. They said, Sharyn, this is a way. Network marketing is an easy way for you to make money and do it the legal way and to really obtain a level of success. Well, the one thing about anything that where I'm going with the brand is that you have to understand the blueprint and you have to understand the system. And everything has a system, even if it's not a system in place, you create a system to build your brand or your business. A lot of times people get into things and they really don't take the time to study to find out how the system has to work for them to be successful. And if there is not a system in place, you have to create one, because it has to be a system. It's just the law of nature. Everything works by a system, whether it's nature, whether it's your body, your organs, everything has a system. And we tend to forget that if you don't follow the system or create a system to go to success in your business or your brand, you're not going to succeed. Sometimes people are over the place. That's why you see a lot of people when they get into things, you see them into 20 or 30 things, and they say, well, that's multiple streams of income. Well, not if you're not actually creating the income. That's just you doing a bunch of things and hoping that will actually create I'm sorry, I don't have my glass on either. So that will actually help you to create what you need. You have to create a system. So when I got with Greg and Nene Leaks, great, wonderful people, but of course they didn't have to do network marketing. They're already established. They have a system. Their system works for them. They're reality stars. Greg was a real estate investor, did some investments, so they have a system. So I made director, loved the product, but couldn't get past that. And it just, for me, where I was at, very broken at that time. As I said, I still had a tether on. One thing I could say about Total Life Changes, what I love about network marketing, you can come as you are. It wasn't no fingerprinting, no background check. They just told you, this is the plan we have. This is who we are. And basically you figure it out. That's just, not to mean that's a bad thing, but you have to figure it out. So I stepped away from it and tried many other things that really weren't successful. I'm just gonna be honest, I wasn't successful because what I wasn't, the main thing apart with me that I realized is that I had to go back to the source, which is God, to find out who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing in this time, in this season. So that took some time. It wasn't just overnight. I woke up. So no, everything wasn't revealed at once, and I'm still walking through my journey, but I decided to step back and get to self, meaning I cut a lot of things out. I cut a lot of people out. I would say, probably somebody would say it was probably isolation, but I wouldn't say that it was a time that I really need to hear. And I'm learning that when you have too many people surrounding you and talking, you really can't really hear what you're supposed to do. So in that, I just sat back, and one day my cousin gave me a call, and she has insurance, and she had an insurance plan that has a orphan benefit, which meaning in this particular plan, if you have a child and say the other parent is passed away, or you don't know the knowledge of, however, it's just one parent, that particular child, if you pass on and they're minor, they will pay a stipend for whoever is the custodial guardian over that parent, and they will also help to assist with college when it's time for them to go to college. I think it's 2 years. And I was like, wow, that's a really good plan. I said, well, you need to target, to me at that time, I said, you need to target single moms, because that's something they really need. And I said, you know what? I'm going to create a group. And I said, and in this group, I'm called a single mompreneur. So I created the group and was having her to go in there and telling her, who to target. But the group was just not, it's like they needed energy. I can't explain it. It just wasn't, it wasn't really fulfilling me. So I'm like, what is going on? So I realized I was limiting to myself. I talk about business all day long. That's what I do. I mean, my conversation, my family probably thinks I'm weird because that's all I talk about all day is business. I have a balance. I mean, I have friends and things like that, and I socialize. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create a tribe. And in that tribe, I'm going to call it hashtag business girlfriend. Some things that I did leave out that I didn't share, and let me do it now. I did serve individuals. So in that, while I was trying to hear from what I was supposed to be doing, I went and served people without any cost. I set up Dr. Venus Opal. She did the first Black woman millionaire tour. She came to Detroit. I set up her whole platform for her. And she poured wisdom into me. So I would serve those who were already paved the way for me. I did conferences, I did a lot. I served. That's the one thing I did serve. I served and also was receiving at the same time, because we always think it's got to be monetary, but it's preparing you for the journey that you have to go on. So in that, I can remember, she's my mentor at the time, Dr. Venus Oak, said, Sharyn, you have a gift with people. You can draw people, and you can draw people of influence to help you get to where you need to go. And she said, you did my whole tour, and we really didn't have to do anything. I mean, it was all set up and everything, you know, in Detroit. I'm from Detroit, which was a blessing. Very historical people. One of the gentlemen, she went to his radio station. He's one of the only African-American man that owns his own tower. Now, I'm not saying station. He does own his station, but he owns his own tower. So people have to rent the tower to use to be broadcast their radio station. So it was a lot of history there. She went, you know, a lot of places. So I served. So that's the one thing in building your brand. Sometimes you may not always financially have the money. And I say the pictures, yes, you need the, you know, all these things you do need, but you may not be there yet. So don't think you have to start when you get it all together. You have to start where you are and build from there. So I served first. I made mistakes. I would do lives, and I look back now and say it wasn't as organic, or I should have been a little bit more polished, but that was a part of my process. So in that, everything started coming together. So I created the group, #BusinessGirlfriends. Now, always in the back of my mind, I always admire Total Life Changes. I like the product. I know the CEO is, and I'm the type of person that has to be tangible. I have to, sorry, y'all. I have to be a person that know that it's real. I'm very transparent. That is one thing I think in business. Like now, I don't have any makeup on. I'm like, oh Lord, I didn't want to do this live because I'm like, oh my God, Corona. You know, we're still on lockdown to May 28th. So I was very transparent. So I built the tribe, #BusinessGirlfriends. I did that of April of last year. And in that, as I said, where I was going, I always wanted to continue with TLC because I believed in the product, but I just didn't understand the system. In any system, there is a way to win within the policies and procedures. And if you don't have a system, I would always recommend create a system, because you have to have a format in order to win. So I thought about what Dr. Venus said. I thought about the leaders that had spoken into me and said, you know, what my gifts were, what they seen in me, things that I could enhance and improve on. And I took that as constructive criticism and I applied it. We have to be teachable, coachable, trainable, and approachable at all times. Just because you may not agree, but it's still something you may need to hear. So I would say, just because you may not agree, it could still be something that you need to hear. I tell people, I don't want people in my inner court that's going to just tell me everything I need to hear. I need just what I want to hear. I like people to be very transparent with me, respectful, but transparent. So when I created the group, I gave the women everything that I knew that I had learned along the way, and without any cost. I know people say, what? But I did. I was, at that time, was blessed to be able to take care of some high profile people. I used my skill of home health care. So in that time, it was a strain on my family, but I would do live-ins with my clients, made very substantial good money with it, but I was able to be with my clients and take care of them. And when they went to bed, I would do my social media. So my clients, when I say clients, they were elderly, very successful people. So I built the brand, I built the relationships. I was very transparent. I wasn't going in the group saying, oh, you got to charge me $199. You know, sometimes people say, if we do this, it wasn't even about that. I wanted them to know who I was as a person. So I told them my story. My story was, I'm passionate about it because it's who I am. It's nothing that I have to make up. It's nothing I have to think about. It is what it is. It was at a time that I didn't want to share my story because I was embarrassed by the choices and decisions I made. And I had to realize that, you know what, you're not the only one that have made a bad choice or decision, but what are you going to do about it? Are you going to, camp out in it, or are you going to be an overcomer in it? And I decided to be an overcomer. So as I built the tribe, when it got to about 2,000 women, I decided that, you know what, me and my cousin, we got together and she said, Sharyn, I want to have a business shower. And I was like, well, that sounds like a great idea. So I put together a business shower. And as I told you guys, I'm in Detroit, but I didn't have the business shower in Detroit. I am a risk taker. I wouldn't tell nobody to do this unless you really led, but I had the business shower in Atlanta, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the mindset, and I'm not saying Detroit doesn't have any entrepreneurs. My birth certificate says Detroit. I'm 313 all day long. I'm the home girl from around the way. I'm that person. I know a lot of people in Detroit, but I needed a mindset that where a lot of entrepreneurs were really on fire. And Atlanta not being that far from Detroit, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it in Atlanta. Everyone thought I went crazy. You live here. You're not in Atlanta. You really don't know a lot about Atlanta, but you're going to do a business shower there. Well, my cousin lived in Atlanta, but she's not as involved and engaged as I was. She has great ideas, and I have to bring them out. She gives me the ideas, and I pull them out and to make them come to life. So that's we always say that's great ideas. This last idea, I'm not doing no work. You're gonna have to do them anyway. That's another story. But so I started the event, started planning it in June. The event was the second week in January. I think it was the second Saturday in January. So then I started pulling from my resources. As I said, I know a lot of celebrities. I know a lot of high profile people because of the lifestyle I live. So, and I've always had a good reputation, guys. Just because the choice and decisions you may hear about me wasn't based on people. It was just, like I said, I understand systems, and what the thing that I used for bad ended up turning for my good because I can study a system and figure out the best way for the system. So I put the business shower together. I put an executive board team together within my own tribe. I really didn't have to go outside the tribe, but we did. So we put 12 people on the board. And I'm going to say out of the 12 people, I'm going to say 7 of them really engaged. The goal was to have 100 people. So what we did is we had vendors, and then we also allowed people to have their own personal shower. And in the shower, we allowed them to be able to they would have their own business. We give them a table with their own brand or whatever they may have, and they invite 10 of their friends. So we would charge them one price and then just a minor price for the person to be able to cover the food. So we did that. Yes, it was work. I'm not going to tell you, it was just a breeze. It was work. But as we went along, it got even better. Then I ended up connecting with Young Jock from Love and Hip Hop. He had just opened his club, South Beach in Atlanta. And he was like, that'll be perfect for the grand opening, for people to know where I'm at. We have professional women coming. We have men coming. And basically, we did the time where the club wasn't open to the public. We did it during the time frame where it would just be convenient for us. So we ended up having a budget. We put everything together. And then lo and behold, we had women come from all over, which was amazing to me. We had women from Detroit. We had women from Atlanta. We had women from Mississippi, New Orleans. People came from all over. So it was an amazing event. I got to actually meet the people in my tribe. So now, mind you, I still had total life changes in the back of my mind, but I believe, because I'm old school, where we come from, if you're going to do business, you have to be up close and personal. We have a lot of things now that I just totally disagree with. People text a business through inbox. They want to know about a whole entire business through an inbox. And I always say, let's set up a consultation. I can't give you a business in an inbox. I mean, what type of legitimate business do you set up and you're going to text it? That's just me. So I met the women in the tribe. And those women I met in the tribe, they end up being more personal with me. So they were excited. I had already, prior to that, what I did, and kind of speaking in, well, prior to that, I gave them samples. I gave them samples of the product with Total Life Changes. I didn't ask nobody to sign up. I said, listen, I want you to try it because a person needs to know, if I believe in something, I want you to believe in it. I want you to try the product. Sample it, no cost, just try it. So the women were, actually enjoying the product, going on Facebook, taking pictures, saying, wow, this is amazing. So I had set a launch date. I said, listen, you guys, it's about 35 of you ladies. Now, I had about a tribe at that time of 2,000. This is about 35 of you ladies. And I want to do a launch. I want to do a relaunch. I was with Total Life Changes back in 2017. I studied the system. I studied the plan. And now I know how to execute this. I said, guys, listen, I have the blueprint. So they said, okay, let's do it. So we set the launch for February the 7th. And we set us, as any business, you have to have a certain amount of investment. We all agreed what the investment would be. We're all going to come in. And I set the structure just the way it needs to be in the system. And they didn't have to actually go out and have clientele because of the way I set it up. And that's a whole nother story, but I'm just telling you, I set a system in place. The ladies came in, and within 1 week, they had went to a rank that had never been heard of in total life changes in that time frame. Now, don't get me wrong, people rank up. They make great money in the company. It's an actual company, a debt-free company. I know the CEO. I'm up close and personal. And the blessing thing is in my own backyard. So that I'm like, okay, guys, sometimes things are meant to be bad is really for your good. Maybe I'm supposed to be in Michigan. So my phone keeps going off. So I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to turn it off. So, with that being said, the ladies were ranking up. They had been in several MLMs. I am not an MLM. I'm not a network marketer. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. If I see something that's going to work, that's what I'm going to do. So I told them in the beginning, I said, I have 2 things I want you guys to do in this. I have 2 opportunities. I kept my word. This is how I kept my word, first of all, keeping your word, and I was transparent. I led them to success. And by me leading them to success, of course, that drew other people. The problem is that most people will lead a person into, the platform I'm using right now is in MLM, but in any business, some people will get you into something, and the only person that's obtaining success in the achievements is that person. No. In this particular situation, I made sure that each individual that I made a commitment to of duplication is that you're going to be successful, and I said, if I have to drag you to financial freedom, you're going to get there. So when the ladies started seeing their success, they start seeing how they were obtaining financial freedom, that automatically drew other people. So I never have to sell anyone. I had someone tell me the other day, they was like, I never knew that you were in total life changes. I don't hear you talk about it. Well, I don't have to, because my success speaks for itself. And I don't say that arrogantly. I say that with confidence, because you don't have to sell yourself. You have to, when I say sell yourself, meaning that when you have a proven system, the system is going to automatically work, and people want to be connected to winners. You want to be connected to a winner. And not only do they want to be connected to winners, but they want to be connected to a winner that is helping other people win. So yes, I think the reason why people don't like network marketing or MLMs, because they have a bad taste. And I'm not familiar with it. This is the first time I've ever done anything in multi-level marketing, but I don't like to label it as that. I look at it as my business, and it saved me a lot of time, because Jack was the one who had to get the paperwork, the licenses, the FDA and all. I didn't have to do all that. All I had to do is take a product, know that the product works, and find like-minded people. And I followed the system. As I said, remember, I understood the system. So when I understood the system, I said, okay, the women are winning, I'm winning, so we're achieving success. So that was on February the 7th. So here we are today. And this wasn't last year. This is this year. I have 2 regional directors, and these ranks is only, I believe, 10 ranks in total life changes. Well, I'm 3 ranks away from hitting the top of the company. And when I say the top, that's $80,000 a week. I don't make no income claims to say that that's what you're going to make, because you have to, like I said, you have to understand the system. There is work involved. I'm not saying just sit back and you look pretty and it's going to happen. There is work involved. So, but with that, the ladies that I connected with, they're winning. So in building your brand or business, I would always recommend and highly suggest is that you find your tribe. You find the people that will resonate with you. I'm not the glitz and glamour. I like those things, but I'm not going to necessarily, I will allow you to see my success, but that's not how I'm going to draw you to me. I'm going to let you know who I am, where I came from. As I said, I was at the top of my game at that time. I'm going to say an average of making $50,000 a week, and it didn't come from network marketing. As I said, I was never introduced to network marketing. And then, as I said, told you I got into made some choices, some wrong choices with the law, and then I got depleted to be able to stay out. So I paid for my freedom. So with that, I lost everything: my home, the material things that I thought that were important, the cars, the houses. a lot separated from my daughter for about 10 months because she was in one location, I was here, and I couldn't travel back. And there was just a lot of things happening. So coming from ground zero, and I would say I felt like a Katrina victim because I lost birth certificates, family pictures, and everything. That was very devastating, but I had to continue to press on. And sometimes I know my team, they laugh at me and say, Sharyn, you seem like sometimes you don't have compassion. I do have compassion, but I have to keep it moving. I have to keep moving on because it's not only me that I'm trying to bring out. I'm trying to bring out other people with me. So if I get stuck out every life situation, and life situations happen, I'm not saying that not have compassion. I'm not saying to have a time of grieving and mourning, because we are at a time that is very difficult for most of us. But I have to say, 2017, I was already feeling like a Corona victim, or, already, to me, experienced Corona, because I couldn't do certain things. And I was too ashamed to tell people, I got a tether on my ankle. That's embarrassing. I will wear long pants so nobody can see, what I'm doing, because, no one wants, that wasn't, I mean, let me say, some of the millennials think it's hot. To have a tether on your ankle is not hot to me. That's not, now people think of catching a case as something, as a fad, but you're talking about my life. There's certain things I just can't do. There's certain things I can't go. Everything I do, I have to report, but I'm making it through it. And network marketing helped me. Some people do shun away from me because they feel like, for whatever reason, they don't want to be bothered with me or anything. But then when they see the success, now they want to connect, and I still embrace them. So being transparent, being open to receive constructive criticism, be able to serve others, and not always thinking about an initial motive that I'm serving you, what am I going to get out of it? You're going to already learn. Yeah, I do apologize. My daughter is having a time with her son upstairs, and I do apologize. So I may have to go. See, this is what I'm saying. My life is something else. So just stay focused. I might have to wrap it up, and I do apologize. Just stay focused. Do not give up. Build your tribe. Find people, as I was saying, thank you, Holders. Build your tribe. Find people like yourself. Don't be concerned with how you may look, what you may not have. I always tell our people, listen, people have the best profiles, the best pictures, the best this, the best that. But then when I do my further research, they don't have the foundational that they need. So just because you see people with pictures and things of that nature doesn't mean that they're being successful. Do your research. Look at their following. Look at how they're moving before, just because they say they can help you make yourself exposed or help your brand. Find out who they are. Do interviews. I tell people I need to interview before you say you're going to market me, because just because you have pictures, just because you have a nice automation system, but how is that going to benefit me? And the claim that I always would get would be, well, I can't guarantee you that you're going to make some money. Well, listen, if I come to you and you're telling me that you're the 7-figure earner, this is what you're telling me. I don't know. I'm not saying you're not. How come you can't help me become successful? Because every great leader produces other leaders. So the reason why my tribe became, now we're at almost 3,000, and it's no rush. The reason why the women resonated with me is because I helped them become successful. It wasn't just me. So you can talk to them separately, and they can show you what they have earned. They can tell you how they have grown their brand. And then I took them into another investment with some other 7-figure earners that are celebrities that normally they wouldn't get that exposure. I exposed them to my Rolodex, as I would say, that's old school. I expose them to my network. I let them into my world. I let them talk to people and be with people that they seen on TV that they normally wouldn't be able to get. They wouldn't be able to have exposure to. So that helped them to say, she's real, and she's helping me individually, my brand and my business. It wasn't about me. It's about you, because if you're not successful, how can I be successful? A successful person creates other successful people. So I guess that's really what I want to say to you today, is that we can follow many people on social media, But the thing I always look at, how many great leaders are they producing? Is it just them that's getting it and everyone else is just like, oh, and don't get me wrong when I say this, no shade, they're an elegant speaker. They're successful. They have the house, they have the car, they came from this. But how many other people around them? Is it just their inner circle, or is it many people that they have made an impact in, and that they can walk away and say, it's a group of people that this tribe now is successful based on what I poured into them, and duplication. Now you're sending out other people out into the platform to create other successful people, but it all started from you. That to me is a successful person, and that's a great entrepreneur. So that is how I personally build individuals' brands or business, or to help them build their brand or business. Now, if they connect with me and want to join with me, that's great. But that is how I help people to build their brand or business. I show them how to be able to connect to their tribe, how to be transparent. And most everybody has a story. No, you don't have to have a story that you were a felon and that you attempted suicide. I mean, I have an extreme story. Don't get me wrong. I do. But that may not be, you may not have came from that. You may be the person that had, you have it together, your mom, or you have a great story, but there is a story into that. So thank you so much. Someone said my words speak for myself. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But everyone has a story. Be passionate, because it's something you don't have to make up. You can't take my story from. I used to tell people, listen, let me tell my story because I get paid for it. Because, when you come from my type of background, people want to throw that out, and then that's why I'm like, well, Sharyn, you can monetize off this. People don't, they're just talking about you. Well, give them something to talk about. Yeah, this happened, but this is where I am, and and I'm not always here, and I'm still working on that journey every day. My oldest one, as I told y'all, I'm just bringing you into my world. She's 29. She was shot over 5 times in a carjacking. I have had a really extraordinary life. And that's a battle in itself. She has a child. So those things we deal with. And I'm like, okay, you got a baby now, you got shot, you can barely walk. And it's just a whole bunch of things. And that's, yes, Lord have mercy. Yes, I can say that I am that. We read the stories in the Bible, but I always say, well, you know what? I am that miracle because I've been through a lot. And it is by my faith that I've gotten here. And I can say surrounding myself with like-minded people, having those counselors. I had a professional counselor. I had a spiritual counselor. I had mentors. I had people pouring into me daily. I do my time with my own prayer, my own meditation. Those things, and still I make mistakes, still I'm learning through this journey, but I get better as it goes. So I just want, if anyone has any questions, I think to be invited on this platform. And this is the first time I've actually done a live, you guys, probably in about a year, because I stayed away because I wanted to do a test to show I'm always doing strategy. I do strategy tests to show people, okay, I still build my brand. I'm building my business, but I build a team, and I didn't do one Facebook Live. And I'm not saying not to do one, but I wanted to show them that what if you can't do a live? What if you don't have a computer? I didn't have a laptop. You believe it or not? This phone right here, and this is something and this is the first time I've ever shared this. This phone, which I'm getting a new phone. I had this phone, and I'm gonna probably get a little emotional because now it's cracked up now because I just dropped it the other day. But we just ordered a new phone. I've been working off my phone since 2017. I couldn't even afford a laptop. I have one now, thank God, due to me building my brand and my business and receiving an income from Total Life Changes. And it was times I never said, I never told no one I didn't have a laptop, but it was certain things I couldn't do. So please, I tell people, please don't tell me what you can't do. This phone, I will proudly frame. This phone right here helped me go to 6 figures. Everything I did is in this phone. Everything I ever did. When I started this in 2017, this was the phone. And I'm not talking about because it's an iPhone. I'm just saying it was my phone. It just so happened to be an iPhone, but everything I did, from my Facebook lives to my emails to my pictures, I couldn't even afford to take a photo shoot. I had to have somebody that would, take it from my phone. And then happened to my nephew, blessing, he came into photography and was like, Auntie, I'll do a photo shoot for you. So don't let nothing tell you you can't do it. And just don't. People didn't know, when I was helping, serving people, at that time I was staying with my best friend. They didn't know that I had 2 cars repossessed, and 1 car I had, and I ended up getting repossessed. I was barely having gas money, and I was still serving these people. It was cold outside. It wasn't heating my car, and I'm not just making this stuff up. This is true. It wasn't even heating my car. Me and my daughter, my 14-year-old, she was probably 12 at the time. We had to bundle up and get in the car, hoping for a hot day. So I'm just telling you, I didn't let any of those obstacles stop me. I may not could move, as some people know, may not could go to all the conferences, and, then my wardrobe was limited. Then I gained weight, not because I was eating, because then I got depression setting and just so many things, but I never, ever stopped. I never, ever stop. And I'm still on a journey. So I just want to say, I thank you for being on this platform. If I can help anybody, you know where to reach me at. My name is in the corner. I am on social media. It's Sharyn Steele. I have a group, a tribe, hashtag Business Girlfriends. We are an amazing tribe. I let you be you. I'm very transparent. I do base my life on kingdom principles, and I'm not ashamed of that. That's just who I am, because that's what got me to where I am today. So I hope that I helped somebody today. You can always call me too on my business line if you want to have a consultation, how we can further help you. And my direct number to my business line is 248-781-0067. That's 248-781-0067. So I hope I helped somebody today, and I do apologize. My daughter was having a time with the baby, and I thought I was going to have to go help her, but it seemed like she got it calmed down, I guess. So hopefully I helped somebody today, and reach out. If there's any questions, I'm happy to look to see. I see the websites coming across. Oh, and I didn't talk about my book. So just before I go, I have a book that's coming out in July. It is Distracted, Denied, Delayed, but I Have Destiny. Pre-sales are going on now. You can go to my website or call me. The book is $19.95. Pre-orders, after it hits Amazon, it's going to be $21.95. Not much, but it's just basically memoirs of me, how I got to this place in my life, giving you a little bit more about what I went through as a person and where I'm at today. So I hope I helped somebody. I hope everyone has a wonderful, amazing weekend. I know we're Corona in till May the 28th. Hopefully it will lift. I got a call today, and I'm thinking it probably will lift at that time. So I hope all is well, and I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing afternoon or evening. I'll talk to you soon.